Pagan Shooter here. I'm out here with my H&R Pardner Pump. This is a Remington 870 knockoff, as they call it. I did give a full review on it, so I'm not going to go over too much of that detail. I've got it loaded. It's 5 rounds or 5 shells magazine. I have it loaded with number 7 12 gauge shot and a standard 2.5 inch shell. Holds, like I said, capacity of 5. There is talk of being able to remove the front plug, the stopper, and get 6. I have tried that, it works, but in some cases the shell will bind up inside. There's a procedure that people describe of grinding away at the stopper, the piece that holds the stopper in, and that'll stop that. I didn't want to modify the gun that much, so I went ahead and I just left it as it is, put the plug back in. So now I've only got 5 shots, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. So let's go ahead and shoot this. This is just standard rounds. This will shoot slugs, it will shoot buckshot, it'll shoot birdshot, so it's not such a big deal as far as only having 5 rounds, because with that kind of firepower, you don't need that many rounds. It's not really a hunting rifle, hunting shotgun. This is, I have shots at skeet with it. It doesn't fly that far because of the way the choke is on this. It's not a very expensive shotgun. This is a first time or a stepping into the shotgun realm type shotgun. I saw this and thought it was a good deal, went ahead and picked one up. I enjoy it, but people with higher end taste might not. It is very heavy for what it is. The buttstock does have a pad on it, but when it comes to 12 gauge, that little amount of pad isn't going to really do you any good. You got to really take it with your shoulder. Like I tell everybody I show how to shoot these, make sure you have it firm against your shoulder, pull it into you. That way there's nothing left to slam into you. You're going to take the force, but you're able to rotate it. Never shoot holding it on your hip. That could end up with bad issues. Let's go ahead and rack one into the chamber, and let's go have a shoot. And that's 5. I love that. So 5 shots, pretty easy. Simple bead sight here at the end. It seems to be attached pretty well. I do feel inside the rest of the bead sight. Let's see. So as far as felt recoil, yes, you feel it. It's a 12 gauge. You're gonna feel it. It's heavy, so it absorbs some of that recoil. Is it fun to shoot? Oh God, yes. One of the things I've noticed is if you rack the slide slow, the way the ejector and extractor work on this, it's not going to force the shell out. It appears to me that the ejection system is the force of pulling it out, and that tosses the shell out the side. In this case, if you do it slowly, it won't eject the shell properly. I'll go ahead and reload it, and I'll try to give you a visual of what that looks like. All right, so back, 5 more rounds, our shells loaded. Because I have it racked already and it's empty, I have to push in on the slide release right here. Pretty simple. And I can rack it and pull one in. So we're ready to go. So in this time, I'm not going to pull the slide back really hard and give it a good racking. I'm going to go ahead and try to extract it slowly and see if I can make it foul. Now, I've seen people have this problem online. I've seen it once, but it was because I wasn't really, forcibly racking the slide back. I was gently pulling. I pulled it back at one point, slowly. So let's see what happens. It worked for me. Let's try it again. So, not such a piece of junk, I guess. Still a slow rack sliding, or sliding of the rack, the pullback of the slide. Still worked, still loaded. Let's just empty this thing out. Now I have noticed if you give it some force pulling the slide back, it does throw the shells farther. So my suspicion is maybe during firing the slide unlocks. They were holding too much on the foregrip, and the force of the shotgun firing maybe had them half cock it back, which forced the shell out enough to where it fell down inside. That's always a possibility. That would definitely bind it up so you couldn't get anything beyond it. Definitely functions well, but my thoughts of a shotgun are pretty skewed. I'm pretty forgiving when it comes to certain weapons because I know what to look for, and I can find if there's a problem, I can usually find out what the problem is or do something to correct it. So let me fill this up one more time and we'll go ahead and make sure it functions. Just a quick note, I did bring out some extra shells with me. These are some slugs at the bottom, 1600 feet per second Winchester slugs. And then there's some Olin Corporation double-aught buckshot. I've processed through or shot through quite a bit of this stuff through the H&R over the time that I've had it, and it has functioned these pretty well. I'm not going to demonstrate these today because, well, they hurt and I don't feel like hurting myself today. I'm just getting back out after not being able to shoot for a little bit, so I'm gonna work back into it. But just so you know, they do function through here. This is not an issue. Okay, so I'm back. I've got 5 shots, 5 shells loaded in here. Drop the chamber. Uh-oh. Well, now it's not functioning. Maybe that was me. Nope. Try again. There we go. So there was my first feed issue I've had with this. So we'll have to investigate that and see what's going on. That was quite interesting. I don't normally keep shells in this for very long, and I did have a few minutes that I was actually doing something else. So we'll see if that happens again. And that was 5 shells. They fed through after that first one. Maybe I put it in a little crooked, I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some investigation on that, and we'll see what happened. But the H&R Pardner Pump, what do you think? Have you had one? Do you know anybody that has one? Go ahead and comment below. Go ahead and subscribe, like, share. Let me know what you think.